Hi guys, welcome back to another video of Life with Awards, where we talk all things marriage and military.
If you would like to see more of our content, make sure to like and subscribe, guys.
Welcome guys, we're
Yes,
back.
We're back.
Another
with
video.
Another video.
Another
Back,
week down,
back.
checking the box.
Yes.
You know, I'd say it's a nice week for me, getting back into the normal schedule.
Yeah.
Because we did so well in the inspections,
Mhm.
we're getting told that there's going to be a little bit of time off to make up for the time put in, so always great to hear that.
Oh, yes. And guys, also, how was your week? We hope you had a fantastic week and you're having an awesome weekend. My week was pretty laid back, honestly, because I got a lot done last week.
Yeah.
I'm chilling this week.
Beautiful.
So school's going well and everything. So just glad to have a little, downtime because we're over that peak of busyness. The beginning of the year is super busy for us and probably super busy for a lot of people. So we just try to take it one step at a time, but we're glad to be over that hill.
Absolutely.
For sure. Yes, guys, so we are back with another video. By the title, you can tell what this video is going to be about. But before we go ahead and get into that, we're just going to go ahead and jump into our woke quote.
You got it this week, baby.
Okay, thank you. So a strong marriage requires two people who choose to love each other even when they struggle to like each other.
We've all been there.
Yes, for sure.
We have.
Yeah.
There's
shoot, I almost dropped your phone. I'm sorry.
A little expensive.
Yeah, be careful.
No, we've all been there where, just disagreements and, maybe even someone gets hurt. You say something you don't mean.
Right.
And, regardless of how you were feeling and how hurt you are, you still have to love that person. And it's a challenge, but, it's something you have to do to keep that healthy marriage going. Because the moment you start mentally checking out, not good.
Yeah, no, for sure. For me, I always like to really analyze things of, this situation is not bigger than my marriage. This situation, my anger or whatever is going on is not bigger than the love I got for my man. So that's how I try to look at those difficult situations. It's like, this may be a big deal or whatever, but is this bigger than the love I have? Is this bigger than our marriage? Is this bigger than our friendship? No. So let's resolve it, But there are definitely times that I cannot stand you and you get on my nerves.
I need a break sometimes.
Yeah, like,
I'm just like,
I need some time. And that's okay. Also, like,
it's healthy.
One tip I will provide as well that nobody asks for is have some time alone that's not with that person. Because that will make things healthy as well. Like being up under each other all the time is just not.
You get annoying sometimes. Yeah, and I get annoying.
On my nerves.
I'm pretty good
sometimes, But that's our job is to know each other through life to keep each other young.
Yeah.
And especially like, when you get married young, like, you have even more time with that person.
Yeah.
Like we'll be 40 and married like 22 years, y'all. And 40 is not old. And for like, that's a long time. So yeah, that's my little tidbit there. But yeah, like love each other even when you struggle to like each other by just simply asking, is this bigger than the love I have?
Yeah.
And that answer is gonna probably be no.
Well said.
Yep. Alrighty guys, let's go ahead and get into this video. This week, as you can tell by the title, sorry if I smacked too loud. I don't know what that was. Sorry guys. Because we do have these new mics. I probably need to talk a little louder. I think from our last video, I noticed that. Like maybe I need to project a little bit more. Anyway, this week, as you can tell by the title, we're going to be talking about the truth about being a military wife. I'm going to give y'all the unfiltered scoop on this situation right here because it's a hot mess. No, just joking. Okay, first question is actually directed at you.
There we go.
Let's pop off. How did you know she had what it took to be a military wife?
Great question.
He didn't. No.
And I'm not even gonna lie, I didn't even consider it. All I knew was I really like Savannah. She's great. Throw in the love word. And she's very responsible, very well put together, not irresponsible in any manner. And all I knew was I'm going into the military, and I would like her to follow me. I didn't even. Maybe it was a selfish thought, but I didn't consider like what the military was gonna make her. Hang on, Earth the chair. like what the military is going to affect you,
right,
you know, as a spouse, as a wife. I didn't
like
even
what that's gonna
consider
look
it.
like. Yeah.
But you know, going through it, I mean,
I'm doing a terrible job, is what he's trying to say.
pretty dang good.
Yeah.
Helped me out a ton.
Aw.
So, I mean, to answer the question, I didn't consider it. Like, I just knew she was amazing, and I wanted to bring her along for the ride.
Do you think it was more like, because like obviously this question is directed to you, but I have a couple questions to add to this. Do you think it was more of like you were more focused on like, because it's, I would think that it's hard, like you going into the military, it's like I can't even think about what it's going to be like for a military spouse, because I'm trying to figure out what it's going to be like for me being a Marine.
Absolutely.
You know, and that's not you being selfish, but like I feel like that's just, you know, that's where your mind is, because you're really about to have to go through the thick of it.
Yeah.
Not saying that military spouses don't go through the thick of it. That's not what I'm saying at all, before anybody hops in the comments and crucifies me. But in the beginning, it's like, you know, there's so much to consider. But do you think it was more of like, I'm not thinking of her as like a military wife, I'm thinking about her as my wife, military or no military, and she's checking all the boxes?
Absolutely.
Or she's Xing all the boxes.
No, you're absolutely checking them. And I knew like joining the military, it's going to, you know, play the biggest effect on me, because it's a lot of change for me. And you know, I had an idea of what I wanted, which was, I guess, more of like a 9-to-5 job in the military, so that way I can have a life outside of the military and have time for my spouse and everything. So I didn't, you know, I had a knowledge of my job.
Gotcha.
You know, not like, I'm gonna go into
that is
infantry,
right.
and you know, it's gonna really suck
talk
for
about
you.
That.
I wanted it to be like, you know,
we kind of had an idea.
Had a regular job, but just throw a little military Shazam in there.
Yeah, and honestly, like we're really lucky with that, because there's a ton of jobs in the military, and like you're saying, like you have one that's kind of like more 9-to-5 based, and you come home every day. Because I'll have people be like, oh my gosh, it's so hard, like when's the last time you've seen him? And I'm like, this morning.
I can't wait for this guy to leave.
When I packed his lunch, like, yes, he's going on a deployment, like, you know. But no, that was my question. It's like, were you more because I don't know, like being in your shoes, like that would be hard to, like, yes, you consider it, but evaluating it as far as like, how is she going to be a military wife? I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to be a Marine, like, you know, like, exactly. But I know that she is what I want in a wife.
Absolutely.
Like, am I right?
Hammer on the nail. Okay. Absolutely.
Okay. I just had that question because I'm like, that's pretty interesting. Like, if you were evaluating all of that, shoot, I don't know
and
how
and even for having a 9-to-5, I've still done my fair share of going away and doing
very true.
And exercises and all that stuff.
Okie dokie. Well, I'm gonna hand this over to you.
Yeah, now my turn.
So he can go ahead and put me on the spot, y'all.
Easy question.
Okay.
Is it hard being a military wife?
Absolutely. No. It is. Look at his face. He's like, I didn't know that.
News to me.
I would say, like, overall, it's not hard being a military wife. I would say that there are challenging moments, you know, because there's a lot of sacrifice that goes into it. And there's a lot of flexibility that's needed, as far as where you live, where you work. You know, made this great dinner. He's not coming home, you know, until 3 hours later or what have you. So it's really, it can be difficult to be flexible sometimes, and it can be difficult to handle certain challenges, I would say. But I don't think overall being a military wife is hard. And I have people who tell me, like, I can imagine it's so hard, you know, being a military wife. It's like it has its hard moments, like anything, you know, marriage has it.
Let me ask you this. Is it's obviously not physically demanding or hard, but I feel like the emotional
is for,
I think that was a not necessarily a struggle, but a change that you had to get used to was, you don't get me 100% because the military is always going to have a part of me, especially as I came up in the ranks and I now have people I'm in charge of. So when they call, I can't just be like,
like we'll be in the middle of dinner and he got to take a call, or,
like,
you know.
I never know if it's a medical emergency, you know, so.
That's a good question. I feel like it's like mental, emotional. I think it's more emotional for me. Like, I feel like I struggle with it's difficult at times, like when you go on exercises, or like you miss a birthday, which hasn't happened yet, but we know like what's upcoming for us. Well, yeah,
technically,
but that was like he missed my birthday when he went to boot camp, but I don't count that because like we knew that was coming. Gotcha. And like he was getting started now, because there's a difference when somebody's going through boot camp and when they're actually in the fleet. Those are drastically two different things. So that's why I say I don't count that. Gotcha. But like the emotional part of it, of missing you, when you're gone, like that's what's a struggle. I can't talk, y'all. And just like the moving around part, trying to get resettled, and just the whole shebang there, because that's a process in itself. And just readjusting to different settings, because when you move different places, there are, everything's different. The food can be different, the people are different, the jobs, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's more the hardest, that would be like the emotional part, I would say, is probably hard. Yeah. Sorry, that was like a super long answer, but if you know what I'm talking about. Like, if you have a spouse that's in military, like it's hard when they're like traveling and stuff, and even especially if you have kids, like that's
I can't imagine.
Yeah. Like I'm struggling with Theo over here, and he's a cat.
Oh, perfect. Leading right into number 3, you kind of already answered it. What is the biggest challenge of being a military wife?
Flexibility, being flexible.
I feel like patience too. Because I'll come home, bad day, and having the patience if I'm coming off rude to be like, hey, let me
Well, see, I wouldn't categorize that as military. That can happen in a normal marriage, because there are jobs outside the military, right? And, you'll come home and you had a hectic business meeting and blah, 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 and your boss was on your behind. And, you can come home stressed. So I won't even categorize that to the military. The military has their own pressures. That's just being married. But I would say for sure the flexibility. Okay. Like having to be flexible is for sure the hardest part. Yeah. I don't know how else to put that, like being flexible when it comes to your schedule, with the changing or us moving, or, I'm having to go and meet a bunch of strangers and dress up for a military ball, but there are requirements, like that. So,
yeah. And speaking on flexibility, can military wives have careers?
Absolutely. You can definitely have a career as a military spouse. The career that you can have is being a military spouse. No, I'm just joking. Yes.
You just broke somebody's heart.
Yeah, somebody was like, what? No. You can definitely have a career. I would just say that you have to be mindful of the type of career you have. If you have a stationary career, meaning that like you can't move around, location dependent. Yeah, like if it's location dependent, you're about to be out of luck. Okay, like enjoy them 3-4 years where y'all at, because it's gonna change. But if you do get a career where you're able to, like being a teacher, for example, or practicing law or whatever, there's different law firms around, different schools and everything like that, so you can always transfer. But if you have a career that's significantly for that state, or it's gonna change. But yeah, you can definitely have a career. I have a career, so
just takes flexibility.
Yep. Oh my gosh,
this is
I'm
for
scared.
Me.
Oh, this one's for you?
Yeah.
The
last one.
Can military wives go on deployments? Yes, girl. Pack your bags unless you're gonna go to Afghanistan with your man. Okay.
Absolutely not. No.
You can go. Don't let a no stop you. Get your bags and book your flight to Afghanistan. No. You can book a flight to Afghanistan?
Yes.
Oh, gosh. Someone said... Okay, that's a whole nother subject. Never mind.
Yeah, no. Spouses cannot go on deployment. There's going to be various...
What if I just stick myself in your backpack, though? Or your sea bag? Would they check?
No. But the thing is this isn't, commercial airliners where they're more gentle.
Oh yeah, they're gonna be throwing the bag.
They're gonna be hauling you.
Yeah, I'm like, ow, and they're gonna be like, what was that sound? Yeah, no. To answer the question, all jokes aside, no, you cannot go on deployment. I feel like a lot of spouses, or I won't even say spouses, because you learn a lot. You get really educated on the military side of things because you have to.
Yeah.
But a lot of civilians will mix up like, oh, where are you guys going for your deployment? And I'm just like, do you mean duty station? Because those are two different things.
There's also exercises.
Yeah, and those are exercises. You cannot go on the exercises with your spouse. Now, if your spouse, which that's a whole nother thing. And if y'all want a video about the different possibilities or like, you know, when you can go with your military person and when you can, we can do a video on that. But as far as deployments go, no, duty stations is where you're physically moving from this state to that one, and you're going to be doing, you know, your spouse is going to be doing
change of units.
3 to 4 years there, you know, on a new contract. Then you move, you know, you guys get a house there or whatever. That's completely different. But as far as his deployment, which means he's going, you know, on a big old boat, you know, or a land deployment or something, you know, no, you're out of the uniform for a reason.
Look at you go, all educated.
I know, right? Was there a time? No, I was like, I never. But see, the thing is, I never asked that question, and maybe it's a good question for some, but like I never asked that question because it was just never option. I'm flexible, absolutely, but going to Afghanistan with you, baby, I'm FaceTiming. If you can get to
that's not even.
Okay, sorry. We shouldn't be joking about. Should we be joking about this?
Probably not.
Probably not, because there are people who are over there. Okay, yeah, sorry about that joke, guys. But no, you cannot go on deployment. Yeah, that was actually all the questions. If you guys have any more questions for me as a military wife or spouse or active duty, as always, you can drop a comment right down below with your question, or you can reach us directly through our social medias if you're not comfortable, you know, making it public. But a lot of questions that you guys have help a lot of other people.
Yeah.
So, you know, these questions, they'll help others. But yeah, I think that
does it.
That does it. This one was pretty quick. But yeah, anything else?
No, man. See you guys next week.
Alrighty. Have a good week, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.